Some environmental groups have criticized Toyota, the hybrid vehicle industry leader, for being slow to participate in all-electric vehicles. The company doesn't think EVs powered solely by batteries are the answer to making greener cars and achieving carbon neutrality. Several competing automakers have pledged to offer only electric vehicles by 2030, while Toyota has a set of goal of producing 3.5 million EVs by that year. So why Toyota, the world's largest automaker, isn't all in on electric vehicles? Well, stay tuned until the end because that's what we will talk about in today's video. Hi there, I'm Fred, and welcome to our channel. If you're new, please subscribe and tap the notification bell to be updated for more upcoming videos like this. So let's get started. With the introduction of the Prius Hybrid, an electrified car that was among the cleanest and most fuel-efficient vehicles ever made, Toyota Motor became the preferred automaker of American environmentalists and eco-conscious consumers about 20 years ago. Demand for the car increased as gas prices increased, spurring other automakers to release a plethora of hybrid models. Vehicles from the Prius line, including a plug-in hybrid electric model, continue to rank among the nation's most fuel-efficient gas-powered vehicles. Ironically, Prius and Toyota's reluctance to invest in all-electric vehicles has caused the company to lose the support of some of its former customers as the auto industry moves towards a battery-powered future. A hybrid today is not green technology. That much is true. A combustion engine that emits pollution like those found in all gas-powered vehicles powers the Prius Hybrid. In a recent blog post, Catherine Garcia, the campaign director for the Sierra Club's Clean Transportation for All initiative, wrote, "In a study of 10 automakers' decarbonization efforts, Greenpeace ranked Toyota last week at the bottom, citing slow development in its supply chain and sales of zero-emission vehicles, such as EVs, that accounted for less than 1% of its overall sales." Toyota has been slower to announce similar investments than competitors such as General Motors and Volkswagen have been over the past few years, despite their shared goal of creating gas-free vehicles like the Prius. Additionally, it keeps investing in a variety of electrified vehicles, from the recently released but unimpressive BZ4X electric crossover to conventional hybrids like the Prius. Even though the company has set a goal of being carbon neutral by 2050, this strategy has pitted it against many of its competitors and raises concerns about its dedication to a sustainable path forward for the industry. Not only Toyota has such plans, similar investments in electrified hybrid models are being made by Stellantis, Ford, and the other Japanese automakers. But a cautious approach to EVs is noteworthy in the hands of the father of mainstream hybrid vehicles. While increasing their investments in EVs, Toyota executives defend their company's strategy, claiming that due to the high cost of the vehicles and the lack of infrastructure, not all regions of the world will adopt EVs at the same rate. Jack Hollis, Executive Vice President of Sales at Toyota Motor North America, stated last month during a virtual Automotive Press Association meeting that as much as people want to talk about EVs, the market isn't mature and ready enough to support the mass movement. Before we talk further about the plans of Toyota, please give a thumbs up if you are enjoying this video so far. Also, do you want your comments to be highlighted? Try our super thanks, and your comments will be highlighted in this video. Or join our membership program. Now, let's get back to the topic. Toyota revealed plans to invest 4 trillion yen, or roughly $28 billion, in a fleet of 30 battery-powered electric vehicles by 2030 in a December press release. While doing so, it keeps funding hybrids like the Prius and other possible replacements for battery electric cars. We want to offer everyone a way to make the biggest impact on the fight against climate change, and we are aware that the solution does not lie in treating everyone equally," during a media event last month in Michigan, said Gil Pratt, Toyota's chief scientist and CEO of the Toyota Research Institute. The company previously stated that it would invest up to $5.6 billion in the production of hybrid and all-electric batteries in Japan and the United States to support its previously stated plans. Although it may seem like a lot, other companies like General Motors and Volkswagen Group dwarf it. For instance, GM plans to offer only electric zero-emission vehicles by 2035, starting with its Cadillac and Buick brands. Many other automakers have made comparable promises or established goals for having 50% or more of their vehicles sold in North America be entirely electric. By 2030, Toyota hopes to sell 3.5 million electric cars annually, which would account for more than a third of its current sales. The luxury Lexus brand, which will by then only sell EVs in Europe, North America, and China, contributed about 1 million of those sales. Toyota is definitely on the conservative side when it comes to electric vehicles, according to Paul Watty, manager of industry analysis of Auto Pacific. But that isn't inherently a bad idea for such a big automaker. He said, "I think they're hedging their bets. Many markets around the world are developing at varying rates. The United States adopts EVs more slowly than Europe and China, but there are other markets with no infrastructure at all. For a global automaker, using a variety of powertrains makes sense." A total of 10.5 million Toyota and Daihatsu Motors or Hino Motors vehicles were sold in approximately 200 countries and regions in 2021, making Toyota the world's largest automaker by far. The second largest automaker in the world, Volkswagen, sold 8.9 million cars in 153 nations, while General Motors and its joint ventures sold 6.3 million cars, mostly in North America and Asia. Toyota thinks that while there is no single answer to the company's desire to become carbon neutral, all electric vehicles are a part of the solution. "I won't be making any investments in the far future if I think battery electrics will dominate the market entirely. I simply can't see it," Jim Adler, founding manager director of the automaker's venture capital division Toyota Ventures, said. "The market really will be a mixed one, based largely on the energy supply, infrastructure, and raw materials required for the batteries that power the vehicles." Toyota executives anticipate that different regions of the world will adopt electric vehicles at varying rates. Toyota has made significant investments in hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles, including the second generation of its Mirai, in addition to hybrid and plug-in electric vehicles. Vehicles powered by hydrogen fuel cells function similarly to battery-powered ones, with the exception that electricity is produced from hydrogen and oxygen, with water vapor as the only byproduct. Nearly as quickly as conventional gas and diesel vehicles, they can be filled with a nozzle. BEV, fuel cell, and plug-in hybrid vehicles are all going to be used, and they are all crucial, according to Hollis. The cost, a lack of infrastructure, and consumer ignorance are still issues that fuel cell vehicles must overcome, just like they do with all electric vehicles. According to officials, e-fuels are climate-neutral fuels that can be used to replace gasoline in non-electric vehicles, and Toyota said it is also researching them. The costs of middle-ground options are typically lower. A 2022 Toyota Prius hybrid, for instance, starts at about $25,000 and has an EPA rating of up to 56 mpg combined. In comparison, the automaker's all-electric BZ4X crossover costs about $17,000 less. Electric vehicle batteries are very expensive, and because of inflation and the high demand for raw materials like lithium, cobalt, and nickel that are used to make the battery cells, their prices are only going up. According to consulting firm Alex Partners, the cost of raw materials for electric vehicles more than doubled during the coronavirus pandemic. As a result, Toyota's hybrid strategy is, relatively speaking, somewhat cost-effective. Toyota asserts further that there simply aren't enough of these minerals available. Pratt predicted that there would be severe supply bottlenecks for lithium over the next 10 years or so. Just consider how many mines there are still to be built. Due to the large number of refineries that need to be paid when the demand is increasing so quickly, there will also be a bottleneck in the supply of nickel for batteries. To meet US EV targets by 2030, according to the metals company, a Canadian startup, there is significantly insufficient production of battery-grade nickel, cobalt, and manganese sulfate. The publicly traded mining company predicts that even if all anticipated nickel sulfate production from the United States and free trade agreement countries through 2030 went towards producing electric vehicles, it would still fall short of meeting less than 60% of the EV targets set by automakers during that time. So what's your opinion on Toyota's plan in regard to electric vehicles? Please leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share this video. Now I know you're curious about what electric vehicles Toyota will make if they want to compete with other automakers. So I recommend you to click and watch the next video here.